the ball down the field. 2nd down and 7 from the 10-yard line, and Camden Mannering checks into the game. Mannering, he'll hand it off to the running back, Smith. Smith, he breaks some tackles across the 15-yard line, almost down to the 20. They'll say down at the 19 and good for the first Warrensburg first down of the night. That's a Fox Heating and Cooling first down. Camden Mannering in the shotgun. Smith to his right. Jacob Taylor, he motions now inside, down to a tight formation. Everyone's set on first down. They'll hand it off again is Smith. Smith juking around defenders for a gain of 4. Looked like Smith might have been down in the backfield. He was a Class 4 All-State receiver last season and showing much of why. Last week, Smith ate early in the game. They'll go 5 wide now with Mannering in at quarterback. Smith motions out to the right side. He's the near side receiver. Trips right. Now they make it quads right. They'll throw it to the back out of the backfield. He's got running room. It's Dominique Mahan. And he'll be right at the line to gain. And it looks like they'll go ahead and say that that was just short of the first down. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. They were 5 wide motion. Dominique Mayhem on an orbit motion. Threw it to him out of the backfield. And now I think we're going to pause here and measure this one. It looked awfully close to a first down. The line to gain, I honestly don't know why they're measuring this. The line to gain is the 29-yard line, and the ball is spotted on the 29-yard line. It feels like there's really no reason to measure, but they are going to. They bring the chains onto the field. Here at Camden, they have electric chains. That is very impressive. It even shows you how far there is to go. It's very nice. Don't have to look over to the scoreboard. We're under 4 minutes in the first quarter, by the way. And it looks, this one's really tight. We're awaiting words from the official, and they'll say just short. So we're going to have a 3rd down in inches on the 29-yard line. I mean, that is awfully close, but they do say that Dominique Mayhem was just a little short of picking up the Fox Heating and Cooling first down. Third down and maybe an inch. Literally the closest you could be to the line to gain here. They'll line up in the shotgun. Villegas is checked into the game. It's 3 receivers to the top of the screen and a tight end. The running back to the right of Villegas. Smith. They don't hand it off to him. It's quarterback run. Oh, he's got plenty of room. Gets a pancake block from his right tackle, and a late flag comes in. Oh, no. Are they going to call that a hold? Wow, that was a completely clean pancake block, and it looks like someone yelled on the sideline. That play was ran on the sideline of the Dragons, and it looks like they're going to call holding, and this one's going to come back. Oh, that is absolutely a horrible break. It looked like a clean pancake block. But instead, now it's going to be a 3rd down and 10. That play, that's how close they were to the first down. That penalty happened right at the line of scrimmage, but since they were an inch away, it's now 3rd down and 10. They check back in Camden Mannering. 2 receivers bunched to the top. They'll hand it off to A.J. Smith. Smith trying to break a tackle across the 23-yard line, and he's got nowhere to go. So what looked like a drive that was going to be pretty promising for Warrensburg as they were going to pick up their 3rd first down stalls out, and it's now 4th down and 7. They might catch Warrensburg. They need to snap the ball. Oh, don't get it off in time. Almost had a chance to catch the Dragons in a too many men on the field situation. They don't get the playoff, though. Hard count. Now Mannering looks like he's going to drop back and punt. I don't know what's happening here, and it looks like a timeout. This is a very big missed opportunity for Warrensburg, who had a chance to draw a few penalties there. Well, this timeout is brought to you by Flat Branch Home Loans. Let's get you a home. 660-422-5699. 4th down and 7 when we come back on KOKO Sports.
Hi, it's me, your little round buddy teed up on the first hole at Mules National Golf Club. Whee! Now, I'm rolling down the beautiful Zoysia fairway. Nice shot. Yahoo! Ugh, whoopsie. You hit me in one of their beautiful white sand bunkers. Whoa! I'm high over the water on the Island Green 18th hole. Whew! Safe on the green. Now just put me in the hole. That's a birdie!
Book your tee time today at mulesnational.com.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent here in Warrensburg. As a longtime resident, chamber member, and two-time UCM graduate, I'm proud to serve the Johnson County community with the highest-rated insurance company in the nation, State Farm. I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with you and review any or all of your policies to see how I can help you create a personalized plan that specifically fits your needs. I look forward to talking to you.
Click, call, or stop by to talk with Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent on East Russell Avenue in Warrensburg.
You're listening to Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Well, this is a pretty big play here. 3rd down and 11, offense still on the field, but they punt from their offensive formation. That's Warrensburg, who's facing a 4th down and 7. They hard count, and they might run a play here. They do have numbers. No, Mannering is now going to step back, and he will punt. His punt is not very good. Shanked off of maybe a Warrensburg Tiger, actually. And they'll go ahead and down this punt at the 45-yard line. It was a low line drive kick that actually barely got over the line, the offensive line for Warrensburg. And Cameron, who had a pretty good last drive, ended up stalling out at the 10-yard line, will take over from their own 45-yard line with 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first quarter. No score here. That's kind of the big thing is Warrensburg's offense was not great last week and was not necessarily clean on that drive, although I still dispute the holding call on 3rd down and inches. It looked more like a pancake, but they do call it a hold. It makes it 3rd down and 10. They only picked up 3 on the run. And that's why Cameron now has the ball on the 45-yard line. They line up again in the wing tee. The quarterback is Reed Smith. They'll give it off to the fullback. Oh, he breaks free. 30, 20, it's a foot race. Can Johnson track him down? He finally does at the 1-yard line. Chase Bell, the junior fullback, breaks free, drags the defender all the way to the goal line. He is pumped up as he checks off the field. All the way into the red zone, the American Senior Benefits red zone, and it's 1st down and goal from the 1-yard line. What a run, a 54-yard run. And now Cameron on the doorsteps of the goal line. They hand it right off to the fullback, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown untouched. Benson Smith, the sophomore, into the end zone for the first score of the game. And Cameron, it takes 2 plays, and they lead with 2:34 to go. There's a dragon in the end zone to the left of me. And it blows fire throughout the game. But then whenever they score a touchdown, it actually blows the fire. The fire is just lit the rest of the time. That's actually a pretty neat thing. They line up in the swinging gate here. Oh, my goodness. They snapped this ball to quarterback. And he pitches it out wide. That's going nowhere. I cannot believe they actually just ran the swinging gate. But with 2:34 to go, 2 plays, and Cameron's into the end zone. They lead 6-0 when we return on KOKO Sports.
Hi, this is Jared Jones from Pilgrim Mortgage. I think it's important that you know who we are, and we believe home is more than an address. It's your future. Our team is dedicated to guiding you through the mortgage process with expertise, integrity, and a personal touch. You might even say that we're a little old-fashioned because we still believe that the client is always first. So come see me today, Pilgrim Mortgage, 101 North McGuire Street, Suite B in Warrensburg, or find me online at homeloansbyjared.com.
Real estate, land, equipment, tools, guns, coins, you name it, we can handle it. Hello, this is Chad Davis at Davis Bell Auction and Real Estate. James Bell and I take great pride in being able to offer an auction plan that best suits our clients. Our decades of experience, availability, and attention to detail will make your next auction a great success. When you need an auction, think Davis Bell, your full auction service company. Give us a call, 660-747-6988, or find us today at davisbellauctions.com.
AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
Well, with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the first quarter, Cameron takes a 6-0 lead over Warrensburg. We are in Cameron as they are hosting this Week 2 non-conference matchup. Kickoff goes deep. It's caught by Hunter Michelle. He's across the 30-yard line, down at the 31. And that's where Warrensburg will start their second drive of the game. It looked like they had a first down to continue the drive. A holding penalty said otherwise. They stalled out after only gaining one first down. But I will say, A.J. Smith looked very good on drive number one. I think he had 3 carries and was bursting through. We're also seeing a 2-quarterback situation tonight, as it looks like Cruz Villegas is really just going to do more with his legs, and Camden Mannering is going to run the offense the rest of the time. So this is Mannering in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers far side, 1 near. The running back is Smith. They'll hand it off to him. Good blocks, gets him a gain of 4 on first down. And now we'll see Villegas, the quarterback, check in, but it looks like it's to play wide receiver. Again, Cruz is going to the University of Central Missouri to play defensive back, so it's not shocking that he's an athlete you want to have on the field. Just decided to make the quarterback change and throw Mannering in there. Camden's only a sophomore. 2 receivers to the top and bottom. Running back Smith to the left of Mannering. Mannering receives the snap. He's back to pass. He's got a man wide open, caught at the 40-yard line, dragged down at the 26. That was Zandon Johnson with the big catch down the right sideline into enemy territory down at the 35-yard or 25-yard line. And I apologize, you're not going to be able to see the far right corner of the end zone. Again, I told you, I'm on a platform that's about the size of a 2x2. Warrensburg back on the ball quickly. Camden Mannering. He gives it off to Smith. Hesitation move. He finds a burst down the sideline and dragged out of bounds after a gain of 5 on first down. Again, first downs are brought to you by Fox Heating and Cooling, installation, service, maintenance, and more. Call 660-747-2992. I thought it was a gain of 5. They'll say gain of 3, so he must have stepped out of bounds a yard earlier before he was actually dragged out. Zandon Johnson, the solo receiver to the bottom. 2 receivers to the top. H-back and Smith to the right. They bring a receiver in motion. Now hand it off to Smith. He almost trips up on his blocker, but stays on his feet. Only a gain of about 2, and that's unfortunate because there was running room. There was a lane, but I'm not sure Smith saw it right away, and he ended up falling on the left guard. It'll be 3rd down and 5 after a gain of 2. A big pass play to Zandon Johnson from Camden Mannering is what set us up into the red zone. In the red zone is brought to you by American Senior Benefits. 3rd down and 5. Camden Mannering, they hand it off to Smith on 3rd down. He spins off a tackle across inside the 10-yard line. Another Fox Heating and Cooling first down. Smith is running with ease in this one. Definitely looks like an all-state player currently. 2 receivers to the top. Zandon Johnson alone at the bottom. Smith and H-back to the right. They hand it off to Smith again. He's just trucking his way, still on his feet. There were about 7 Dragons there, pushing against 1, A.J. Smith. And A.J. Smith was finally brought down after a gain of 5. It's a goal to go from the 5-yard line. 2nd down. They'll go ahead and bunch a tight end and an H-back. And now we're going to go ahead and have a pause, and that's because the first quarter is ended. Wow. Felt like that first quarter flew by. It's 6-0 Dragons. Don't worry, though. Warrensburg knocking on the goal line when we return. You're listening to KOKO Sports.
Let's be honest, football isn't the only thing with ups and downs lately. Mortgage rates have been moving too, and Travis Fleming at Flat Branch Home Loans is here to help. If you bought a home when rates were around 8% or higher, now might be the perfect time to call a timeout and refinance, or even consolidate some debt. And for all the first-time buyers, don't sit on the sidelines. Travis would love to help you get in the game and score a home. Travis Fleming with Flat Branch is your playbook for smarter home loans. Find Travis on the web today at flatbranchhomeloans.com/Warrensburg.
Welcome to Home Improvement Improved. At Central Bank, our home equity loans help you make your dream home a reality. With our experienced local lending team and a lower interest rate than a credit card, you'll have more flexibility and the cash you need to update your home the way you want to. Because we do banking better. Visit any of our convenient locations or apply online. Central Bank. Strong roots. Endless possibilities. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Well, we welcome you back on a chilly Friday night. Yeah, it's only week 2. Guess what? We lucked out on the heat on week 1. We've lucked out week 2. It's actually, I'm seeing blankets. I'm seeing hoodies. It feels like football weather. And something else that feels pretty good is Warrensburg being on the 5-yard line of the Cameron Dragons. Mannering, he hands it off to Smith. Smith goes untouched into the end zone for a touchdown. A.J. Smith's first touchdown of the 2025 season comes in the second quarter here in Cameron. 3 seconds off the clock, and pending an extra point, Warrensburg will have a lead. The long snapper is Camden Mannering, the quarterback. He will snap it to the other quarterback, Cruz Villegas, and the kicker is Ethan Hook. Warrensburg looking to take their first lead since the first quarter in Smith Cotton. That snap is rolled back. The kick is up, though, and it sneaks in. Wow, what a job. The operation was not great as the snap rolled back, but Villegas did a fantastic job to get the snap down. And a line drive kick from Ethan Hook gives Warrensburg the 7-6 lead. Come celebrate at IHOP after every home football game, where everyone gets a free pancake for every touchdown the Tigers score at home. Well, we're not at home today. We're in Cameron, Missouri. But next week, the Tigers will be back at home, and you can go on to IHOP after every single touchdown. I know that's where I'll be. I mean, I heard that was a deal, and thought instantly, wow, I need to get on over to IHOP. Again, Ryan Retone joining you. We're in Cameron, Missouri, where Warrensburg has just taken a 7-6 lead over the home team, the Cameron Dragons. This is the Pilgrim Mortgage broadcast, and we're playing in the Warrensburg Ford first half. So Warrensburg sets to kick things off. Glad you're joining us, and if you're listening to this thinking, man, I really would like to see what's going on. Ryan's not doing a great job explaining it. Well, there's good news. You can. If you go onto the MoSportsZone app, you could go to MoSportsZone.com, or you could go to YouTube at, well, it's MoSportsZone, and you could find live coverage of this game. There's a camera that's only partially blocked by the press box here in Cameron, and the commentary will also be on it. So hope you consider joining us on that, or if you're listening to us on the radio, thanks for hanging out. This kickoff's fielded at the 10-yard line. Cutting back, now spinning off a tackler and finally dragged down at the 20-yard line. That's one of the wingbacks of the Cameron Dragons in Talon Eddins. First drive for Cameron, they went 60 yards and stalled out on the 70 yards and stalled out on the 5-yard line. Drive number 2 was 2 plays and a touchdown. We'll see what drive number 3 results in. It's been a heavy dosage of Chase Bell early, and actually a heavy dosage of the run game in general. Cameron is yet to pass the football as we stand here with 10 seconds off the clock in the second quarter. And it's a hard count, and then Cameron looks up to the sideline and tries to get the play off a whiteboard. It's a very unique system, one I've never seen before. First down and 10, they hand it off to the fullback. And that time Warrensburg is all over it, only a gain of 2. The D-line play for Warrensburg was fantastic last week. And I talked about it a lot, but Frank Stevenson played fantastic. This time, obviously, it's going to have to be a little bit more of the interior D-line that has a game. But I'd say that they're up for the task. Again, Coach Kavanaugh said that his team had a great week of practice, which you actually, it's cliche. You hear it from almost every coach, but not a lot of coaches say that whenever they're facing the option. You know, they don't really talk about the week of practice they had. Coach Kavanaugh said it was a good one. Play clock down under 10. Smith gets the snap, fakes the handoff, fakes the pitch as well. Wow, what a play from the quarterback, and it looks like he'll pick up the first down. Very impressive. You know, people don't understand how hard it is to run the triple option, I don't think, especially out of the wing tee. And that time did a good job, read it, pulled it, and I thought he was going to pitch it, but instead just body faked and cut up in for a gain of about 9 and a first down. This ball is marked at the 32-yard line of the Warrensburg Tigers. Cameron trying to take back the lead that Warrensburg just took from him. The quarterback, Reed Smith. They'll give it to the fullback, and he has a burst through the middle and a pickup of 7 yards. This football is not going to wow anyone, but it's been highly effective here early. I'll tell you that much. The fullback in Chase Bell will check out. He checks out after every run that's a little bit more than 5 yards. He had the big 44-yard run, only to have his touchdown stolen from by Benson Smith. Smith is checked into the game now at fullback. They motion the wing back and do a hard count. So now with 7 seconds on the play clock, Cameron going to have to hurry here on 2nd down and 3. Play clock down to 1. They do get the snap off, hand it off to the fullback Smith. He picks up the first down across the 45-yard line and dragged down at the 47. The chains keep moving. The clock keeps rolling. If you were hoping for a quick football game tonight, I promise you'll get one. Anytime the triple option shows up, the clock runs pretty much the whole night. And although Warrensburg is a little more willing to pass, they've only thrown the ball once tonight. These teams committed to putting the ball on the ground. 9:25 to go here in the second quarter. Warrensburg leads 7-6. Play clock down under 10 again. Wing back in motion. They hand it off to the fullback right up the middle. And again, this play looks like he's swallowed up after a gain of 1 or 2, but it's actually a gain of 4 for Benson Smith. Smith and Bell have split carries at fullback. The quarterback's last name is also Smith. It's Reed Smith. Is there a relation? Who knows? I couldn't tell you. I would imagine there probably is, but I don't know. 2nd down and 7 from the 49-yard line. Reed Smith under center. Left wing back goes in motion. They hand it off to the fullback, and it goes nowhere. Stuffed up. See, that one did look like it went nowhere, and it didn't go nowhere. Gain of maybe a yard on that play. 3rd down and 6 now, as Cameron crosses over into enemy territory. They're on the 49-yard line. This snap will happen under 8 minutes as Cameron makes sure to use the majority of the play clock. They finally get the play in with 15 on the play clock. 3rd down and 6 from midfield. Edens and Meadows, the wing backs. They fake the handoff. They pitch it out to Meadows. He's got lots of room. No, he doesn't. Oh, what a tackle. And a great job. They strung it out all the way to the defensive back. And then Zandon Johnson, who had a big catch on offense, has had a few big tackles on defense, tackles him after maybe a gain of 2. It looked like Meadows had all the running room in the world on the far sideline, but Warrensburg's defense just kept stretching him out. 4th down and 3. Although I will say it's felt like early Cameron's gotten 3 yards on accident on the run. So let's see what they do here. They'll pitch it out wide to the fullback. And he doesn't get it, I don't think. This is going to be really tight. Warrensburg's pretty convinced they have him stopped, and with that spot, I think they do as well. This ball is being marked on what appears to be the 46-yard line, the 44-yard line, and it will be short. A fourth down stand for Warrensburg, and they get off the field for the second time on a turnover on downs. What a job by the defense. I mean, Cameron was just ripping run after run off, and it almost felt anticlimactic because I don't think anyone realized that they stopped them. Warrensburg does get off the field on fourth down, and they take over from the Cameron 44-yard line. The best starting field position they've had so far tonight. This is Mannering in the shotgun. He gives it off to Smith. Smith running right tackle. He spins off a tackle across the 50-yard line, breaks another one, and he's free. Running down the left sideline, A.J. Smith. Are you kidding me? Sensational from the senior Smith. Oh, but there's a flag. I don't know how there's a flag, unless maybe there was a block in the back. Oh, that's going to wipe off one of the best runs we've seen all season. Smith broke at least 5 tackles. There is a penalty. We're waiting to see it. Let's see. What do we got here? We'll signal a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Warrensburg. So, if I'm not mistaken, the result, because the official never signaled it, which he should have, but it is a touchdown for Warrensburg. A big touchdown. One of the greatest runs we've seen all season. Put 6 more on the board, but the penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff. So this extra point still pretty easy as they look to take an 8-point lead. Right now it's 13-6. Snap back, hold down, kick up, and it's right through the middle. Warrensburg, it was A.J. Smith, a big run on the second play of their drive. And they take an 8-point lead, 6:51 to go here in Cameron as we step aside on KOKO Sports.
Hello, Central Missouri. This is Michael Malloy from American Senior Benefits. When the Tigers find themselves in the red zone, they pull out their special playbook to find the end zone. Retirement has a red zone, too. The 5 years leading up to and the first 10 years of retirement are critical to having a well-thought-out plan. Let the experts at American Senior Benefits guide you to your end zone so you don't have to settle for a field goal. American Senior Benefits, across from the courthouse in Warrensburg, proudly flying our nation's colors each and every workday.
Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
A.J. Smith, his second touchdown of the day. This one a 55-yard rush. It's an amazing run. I cannot believe that it happened. There was an unsportsmanlike penalty on the during the play. It'll be assessed on the kickoff, so it looks like they'll kick off from the 25-yard line. We do want to remind you that touchdowns are brought to you by IHOP, and after every home football game, where everyone gets a free pancake for every touchdown the Tigers score at home. Unfortunately, not a home game today because you've already got 2 free pancakes, but next week, hopefully Warrensburg's putting points on the board again. Still, I cannot believe and overemphasize the run that A.J. Smith just had for the touchdown as this kickoff's booted down to the inside the 30-yard line. It'll be returned from there. Running down the right sideline and dragged down. Oh, what a tackle. That's Nick Ellison. Fantastic tackle from him as he brought down the wingback in Talon Edens. 6:45 to go here in the Warrensburg Ford first half. And Warrensburg finds themselves with a 14-6 lead. Now with 6 minutes to, or really 7 to go, 6:45, Cameron could drive down the field and take up the rest of the half. We'll see what they do. But if they were to get into the end zone, it would more than likely take the next 6 minutes and 45 seconds as they don't run a play until there's barely any time on the play clock, if any at all. They'll fake the handoff. It's the quarterback. He's got a lot of running room. Smith, a gain of 9 on first down. Maybe they'll even say 10. Wow, yeah, they're going to give Smith, and they'll say he's just short. But what a job by the quarterback and Reed Smith. They ran a follow play where they faked it to the fullback. He was the lead blocker, and Smith ran right up in there and got a gain of 9. I will say it feels like Smith and then also the fullback and Chase Bell, they have this different mode whenever they see they can get vertical with no one in front of them, and you have a nice burst. 2nd down and 1. Play clock's under 10, of course, as we approach the 6-minute mark. 4 seconds. They got to go. I don't think they're going to get this snap off. They're not. Yeah, that is blown dead. You could actually hear Coach Chris Kavanaugh from the far sideline yelling delay at the top of his lungs. He's right. It is a delay of game. And this will push this will push Cameron back another 5 yards. It looked like they were going to have a pretty easy first down gain, but now they'll have to go 6 yards to pick it up. Surprisingly, the first time we've seen a delay of game from Cameron, because there have been a lot of times where it felt like there was no way that the Dragons would get a snap off, and they somehow did. The clock runs again, though, almost in Cameron's favor. I don't know that you really want to give Warrensburg the ball back again in the first half. I mean, obviously, if you go home run touchdown on play number 1, you're not mad about it. But you really don't want to give Warrensburg the ball back because they've really found their running game. They give it off to the fullback, a gain of maybe 2 yards. Warrensburg struggled early with the dive, but they have done a fantastic job as of late. It was a turnover on downs last drive. Now a 3rd down and 4. This ball will be snapped at the 48-yard line of the Dragons. They're moving left to right on your audio feed. Donning the all black. They go hard count with Reed Smith. Again, they run the wing tee. It's 2 tight wide receivers, 2 wing backs, and a running back directly behind Reed Smith. Defense chance on the road out of the Warrensburg faithful. They fake the handoff. The pitch is fumbled. It's on the turf. It's picked up. Oh, and now it's on the ground. And they have it. Warrensburg, Cruz, Villegas, all alone. Touchdown, Tigers. Cruz Villegas with the scoop and score of 45 yards. And the Tigers are dominating the first half tonight. Oh, what a job. I was talking about not giving Warrensburg the football back. Well, good news, you didn't give their offense the football back. Bad news, it was a touchdown from the Warrensburg defense. Again, all touchdowns are brought to you by IHOP, where you'll get a free pancake during every home game. And I'm starting to be really mad that this game wasn't being played in Warrensburg. It looks like they're a man short on the PAT unit. They got him out. Again, the quarterback, Mannering, is the long snapper. He will snap it to Villegas, who just scored the touchdown. But first we're going to have a penalty, and I'm not sure what it really could be. It was thrown by the umpire, and we're going to see – I'm not sure what we're going to see here. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, a legal procedure from the defense. So I'm assuming that'll be – I'm assuming that'll be – well, they're going to talk about this now. You might see them go for 2. Let's see. No, they're just going to enforce it on the kickoff, I think. I honestly didn't even know you could do that. This could get really interesting, though. You could run some pretty crazy fakes whenever you've got your quarterback in at long snapper, your backup quarterback in holding. And, I mean, you could do some pretty crazy things, but they're going to go ahead and enforce it on the kickoff, as our head referee told us. So with 4:40 to go, and now just even more confusion. I wish I could tell you guys what's going on, but I don't know myself. I think the officiating crew is just figuring everything they need to out. I really don't know what a legal procedure could have been called on the PAT, but finally, looks like we're good to go. Villegas gets the hold down. The kick is up, and it's right through the middle. So with 4:40 to go, Warrensburg, it was Cruz Villegas with the defensive score. 21-6, they lead on KOKO Sports.
I am the Bobcat Man, David Bruce. I am the Bobcat Man, David Bruce.
Hey, this is David Bruce, the Bobcat Man, Bobcat of Sedalia. We've got Bobcat loaders and excavators in stock and on sale. I'm not able to give you the low price over the air due to minimum advertising price restrictions. I know what you're thinking. The Bobcat Man has gone crazy. Well, call my bluff. 816-491-6224. That's 816-491-6224. David Bruce, the Bobcat Man.
You can depend on your Comfort Maker dealer to keep your home and family comfortable all summer long. Whether it's a spring tune-up or a midsummer emergency repair call, our customers enjoy the peace of mind that comes with having a reliable relationship with a rock-solid service partner. Make Fox Heating and Cooling your first and only call for outstanding cooling products and solutions. Call 660-747-2992 or come by 448 East Gay Street. Comfort Maker. Comfort with confidence.
You're listening to Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Well, Warrensburg out to a 21-6 lead here on week number 2 of high school football. Ryan Retone joining you tonight in Cameron, Missouri. This kickoff will happen from the 45-yard line as they enforce the penalty from the previous touchdown, from the PAT. And the kick is off, and it's a pretty good one. Down inside the 10-yard line, coverage team running down to get the returner. He'll have running room. Oh, wow, a lot of running room. A burst across the middle of the field, and he's down inside the 36-yard line. 4:32 to go in the second quarter. Coming up, we'll have the Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show, and you don't want to miss that one. We'll go ahead and talk about the game that's currently going on, and I'll learn in real time with you guys how the Kansas City Chiefs are doing tonight as they are playing in Sao Paulo, if I said that right, couldn't tell you if I did, Brazil against the Chargers tonight. We'll also preview the Border War tomorrow. Warrensburg's kind of in a unique place, I guess. Not that far from Kansas. I'd say a lot of people are probably Mizzou fans, but I'm sure there's some KU fans as they're set to kick off at 2:30 tomorrow. But first, we're going to wrap up the first half here in Cameron. First play of this Dragons drive goes absolutely nowhere. The dive that had worked for the majority of the first quarter has gone dry. Chase Bell received the handoff and got maybe a yard. I don't know if they'll give him a yard on that one. And then he was dragged 8 yards behind the play, but due to forward progress, they'll mark him with a gain of 1 at the 35-yard or 36-yard line. Second down and 9. Again, Warrensburg is a scoop and score from Cruz Villegas. Get used to hearing that name in Warrensburg because he's staying home to play football at Central Missouri for the Mules. They fake the handoff, pitch it out wide. It's on the turf again, and it's kicked down to the 20-yard line, a race for the football, and it is recovered and spinning on the sideline and into the end zone. Oh, Dominique Mayhem. A second straight scoop and score for the Warrensburg Tigers. The ball was kicked down to the 20-yard line, then down inside the 10 where it looked like Mayhem was just going to field the ball and go out of bounds, but instead he scoops it while spinning and waltzes his way into the end zone. This game is turned completely on his head as Warrensburg now leads 27-6. They haven't had an offensive snap since there was 6 minutes left in this game. Now with 3:31, they've scored twice. Snap back, hold down, kick up, and it's good. With 3:31 to go, back-to-back scoop and scores. It was Villegas, now it was Mayhem. And Warrensburg has a 22-point lead on KOKO Sports.
I'm Brenda from St. Louis. Warrensburg Chrysler just made me another happy customer.
It's the Drive-In to Fall event at Warrensburg Chrysler, and prices are falling. Get $7,750 off a 2025 Wagoneer S, or up to $5,250 off 2025 Ram 1500 DT Crew Cab Tradesman, and interest rates as low as 3.9% to qualified buyers. Fall into a great deal at Warrensburg Chrysler.
I'm Evan Harris, and the tradition of making happy customers continues at Warrensburg Chrysler.
Looking for more than just a healthcare provider? At Western Missouri Medical Center, we're your dedicated partner for health. Our team of expert specialists, advanced treatments, and cutting-edge technology means you get the care you need when you need it most. We're proud to care for the community we call home, and we're here to support your health at every stage of life. Learn more at WMMC.com. Western Missouri Medical Center, your partner for health.
It's time to stack the score. Hi, this is Annie from your Warrensburg IHOP. Warrensburg High School football is back in action, and so are we. After every home football game, everyone gets a free, that's right, free pancake for every touchdown our home team scores. So make plans to come on in and celebrate your Warrensburg Tigers at your Warrensburg IHOP. Every Friday after home games. IHOP Warrensburg. We stack the score.
Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Well, the kickoff return brings the Dragons out to the 20-yard line. It was a big tackle, and I apologize. I didn't get the number on who hit the Dragon, but it absolutely lit them up at the 20-yard line. And you can tell that special teams plays are going hand in hand with how good this defense has played for Warrensburg. Back-to-back drives now that have ended in a scoop-and-score touchdown for Warrensburg, as the pitches have just not worked out, and the defense has really been there. This time, Cameron will hand it up the middle to the fullback, and that's really been their safest play. It seems like they're not, overly happy with the way that they've pitched the ball, obviously. I mean, it's resulted in 2 opponent touchdowns. But the problem was the dive wasn't working the last few drives. Warrensburg did a good job of containing the dive, which forced them to go to the edges, and the operation hasn't been very smooth. Under 3 minutes to play, 2nd down and 5 from the 27. Cameron scored the first touchdown of the game. They led 6-0. It's been 28 unanswered points for the Warrensburg Tigers since. And even the record at 1-1 this season. The wing tee here. They motion a man across the formation. A flag flies. That one looked odd. I think that's got to be an illegal procedure of some sort. And they'll blow the play dead after a gain of 3 yards. And I'm not sure if what we'll see here. Typically, they run the motion man in orbit. That time they ran him straight across the formation, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It'll be an illegal shift. You don't see that very often in the wing tee, where a wide receiver runs between the wing back and the center and the quarterback. I really can't even explain to you what happened. I wish I could. I don't know why they motioned like that. It certainly wasn't what was supposed to happen, and it will indeed result in a 5-yard illegal shift penalty. So the gain on 1st down gets wiped right off, and it's back to 2nd down and 10. 2:33 to play, and an offense like the Cameron Dragons is not going to, probably go 80 yards in that amount of time. They do have, I believe, all of their timeouts. There's nothing signifying that on the scoreboard here in Cameron. On the 20-yard line, Reed Smith gets the snap, hands it off to the fullback, breaking one tackle, another, and then dragged down by 5 Warrensburg Tigers. Looked like Frank Stevenson was the main tackler there. The ball carrier was Chase Bell. So now 3rd down and 6. Be interesting to see what they do here. I mean, you'd think keep it on the ground because they've actually ran the ball every single play in this game. They have not passed the ball a single time, right? But you also need to pick up 5 yards, which is quite a ways to go. The problem is it's under 2 minutes, and you definitely don't want to give the ball back to Warrensburg. Clock winding down. Cameron definitely aware of that, and some of their players angrily pointing towards the clock. I don't think they understand that they're just trying to take some time off here. Line it up now. 3rd down and 5 from the 25-yard line. They fake it. It's the quarterback. Smith has running room, breaks a tackle. Running left sideline across the 45. They'll actually say he stepped out of bounds right before the 45 at the 43-yard line. A big gain of 14 yards on 3rd down and 5, moves the chains, and even more importantly, he got out of bounds with a minute 29 to go. So the clock stops. Cameron can take their time. I'd like to imagine we'll see them go hurry-up mode here now from their own 43-yard line. The whistle at dead. I'm not sure what they would be talking about here other than maybe, a player's going to be tying his shoe. That's Frank Stevenson. And, if you're wondering why I say his name perhaps more than I do with others, it's because you actually can't miss him with his neon green cleats and gloves. So I can easily identify Frank, I'll tell you that much. Maybe we can get some pink gloves out here pretty soon, when we're approaching October. That'll help. But the vantage point in Cameron is not ideal. 1st down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Defense chance out of the Warrensburg crowd. They've handed off up the middle, and the ball's on the turf again. That time it was recovered by the quarterback in Reed Smith. The 3rd straight drive that included a fumble, and now we have an injured Dragon down on the field. They got him up pretty easy. I have a feeling he'll probably have to come off for a play since they did whistle the play dead because the clock should be running right now. Warrensburg's in a huddle on the sideline. Did they call a timeout? They did. So the first timeout of the game by either team, it's a Flat Branch Home Loans timeout. Let's get you a home. 660-422-5699. We'll be back on the flip side of this break on KOKO Sports.
Andrea from Wheaton, Missouri, and Warrensburg Ford just made me another happy customer.
Warrensburg Ford announces the summer sales event. Get 0% financing for 48 months and 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus a 2-year 25,000-mile maintenance plan on most new 24 and 25 Fords on the lot. It's a great time to buy during the summer sales event going on now at Warrensburg Ford.
Hi, I'm Evan Harris, and the tradition of making happy customers continues at Warrensburg Ford.
Hello, Central Missouri. This is Michael Malloy from American Senior Benefits. When the Tigers find themselves in the red zone, they pull out their special playbook to find the end zone. Retirement has a red zone, too. The 5 years leading up to and the first 10 years of retirement are critical to having a well-thought-out plan. Let the experts at American Senior Benefits guide you to your end zone so you don't have to settle for a field goal. American Senior Benefits, across from the courthouse in Warrensburg, proudly flying our nation's colors each and every workday.
AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
River Meadows with a gain of 6 on 2nd down brings up 3rd down and 7. On 1st down, it was a fumble that sent the Dragons behind the sticks. On 2nd down, a gain of 7, and he got out of bounds. Now, Warrensburg just used their first time, Cameron had just used their first time out. But now Warrensburg might think about using a timeout if they can get a stop on 3rd down and 6, as the clock has been stopped twice now. So there's still 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in the second half. Warrensburg's had big playability. They had a big pass play earlier in the game to Zandon Johnson, and then also A.J. Smith had a 55-yard rushing touchdown. First, got to get off the field on 3rd down, and they do. The dive goes nowhere, and the ball's on the turf again. Oh! It looked like forward progress might have been stopped. No one has a spot on this fumble, so maybe they'll say it was. Wow, that's bold because the whistle had not been blown, but they'll say that forward progress was stopped right on the line of scrimmage, and it will signal a Warrensburg timeout as they're going to try to get something going here with 1 minute and 7 seconds. We're just going to go ahead and stay right here because, well, we're going to be at halftime here in a minute. Again, coming up is the Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show, and we are excited to talk about the Chiefs-Chargers, which is going on right now in Brazil. We'll also be previewing the Border War, or Border Showdown is what they're calling it now. But I did see Mizzou Branding release Border War, so, it's heated blood between those two schools. It is Hate Week this week. I also believe Iowa and Iowa State are playing, so two big rivalries happening in the Midwest this weekend. That'll all be talked about on the Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show, and we are right across the 8 o'clock hour, so I will tell you that you're listening to tonight's broadcast on 1450 KOKO. Streaming live on MoSportsZone.com, the MoSportsZone app, along with YouTube. That's right, the MoSportsZone YouTube channel. I'm Ryan Retone, and we're out in Cameron, Missouri, back at the studio. Is Kyle running board. I also believe with him is Zach. 4th down and 6, and they will punt. High punt, end over end. A lot of running room here. It's received by Mandem. He already has a touchdown defensively. Great blocks. Mandem cuts back across the 50-yard line and down on what looks like the 47 of the Cameron Dragons, So great field position here. With 52 seconds to play, Warrensburg's going to try to score one more time. They lead 28-6 in this ball game. 2 offensive touchdowns, 2 defensive touchdowns, and now a penalty. And a face mask is going to give the Tigers even better field position. They'll say that the face mask happened during the tackle. And they'll also say it was a personal foul. Wow. A massive break. This ball is going to be spotted inside the 35-yard line. Warrensburg takes over from their own 33. I couldn't tell you. I probably should have asked Coach Kavanaugh today. I couldn't tell you what Ethan Hook's field goal range was, what he could hit from. But on the extra points, I mean, he booms those through. I'd like to imagine that a field goal is on the table here. Believe Warrensburg also still has 2 timeouts. Mannering, the quarterback, drops back to pass. He's just going to take off here, breaks 1 tackle, now breaks back towards the middle, finally across the line of scrimmage, and that was a lot of time off the clock for a gain of 6 yards. Clock's running still, under 43 seconds to go. They're back on the ball. 2 receivers to the bottom, 2 to the top. Smith, the running back, to the right. Mannering in the shotgun. Receives the snap. Back to pass. Has a man across the middle. And dragged down at the 10-yard line was Dominic Mayhem. A very nice open field tackle. And now they're going to get back on the ball quick. 25 seconds on the clock now. 26. The clock is still stopped for the Chains. They'll roll the clock and spike that ball down with 21. So 5 seconds run off the clock. They get the spike off. The ball is spotted on the 10-yard line. It was Mannering to Mayhem, a 23-yard gain. And now with 20 seconds left, it'll be 2nd down and 10. 2nd down and goal to go from the 10, that is. Slow things down here as they have time. Also have 2 timeouts to work with. 2 receivers to the top. The lone to the bottom is Zandon Johnson. They fake the handoff to Smith, rolling out right. He's evading a tackler, gets it off to the H-back and into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Camden Manning dumps it off to Dorian Lee, who waltzes into the end zone. A fantastic job on the 50-second drill. It takes 40. And Warrensburg extends their lead with 6 more. Wow. Ethan Hook is looking to make this game a 35-6 game with the PAT. Completely different story for the Warrensburg offense than it was a week ago. Snap back, hold down, kick up, and it's well through. With 13 seconds to go in the first half, a passing touchdown from Camden Mannering. What I have to imagine is Mannering's first ever touchdown pass, as he's just a sophomore, is completed to Dorian Lee for a touchdown in the Warrensburg sideline. It's a completely different story from last week. Celebration, euphoria, any positive word you can think of is currently going on the far sideline. Wow. What a first half. This is what we expected to see last week in Sedalia. Didn't see it. They make a quarterback change, put Mannering in there. Don't worry, Villegas is still playing. He had a scoop and score. Mayhem had a scoop and score. A passing touchdown to Dorian Lee and 2 rushing touchdowns by A.J. Smith. And Warrensburg leads 35-6. Again, looking for their first win of the 2025 campaign. And this Cameron crowd is stunned currently. Feels like this game was just 7-6. Kicking off will be Ethan Hook. In 13 seconds, it's a squib kick. They don't want to allow a return from Cameron, and Cameron will fall on it with 12 seconds on their own 28-yard line. I would like to imagine, and this is high school football, so who knows, but I'd like to imagine you run the ball one time, tell your guys definitely hold on to it because that has been an issue tonight for Cameron, and get to the halftime locker room to talk about what in the world has happened. But again, this is high school football, so nothing's guaranteed. Regardless, it's going to be a very fun Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show. So we're looking to wrap up the Warrensburg Ford first half. The head coach of Cameron just yelled the play call across the formation. I think he said, "Take a knee," as he flung his headset off, and that is what they'll do. Cameron takes a knee, and we're heading to halftime. It's been all Warrensburg Tigers. They've got to be fired up as they head to the left end zone here in Cameron, Missouri. 35-6. The Tigers lead. When we return, it's time for the Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show on KOKO Sports.
Let's be honest, football isn't the only thing with ups and downs lately. Mortgage rates have been moving too, and Travis Fleming at Flat Branch Home Loans is here to help. If you bought a home when rates were around 8% or higher, now might be the perfect time to call a timeout and refinance or even consolidate some debt. And for all the first-time buyers, don't sit on the sidelines. Travis would love to help you get in the game and score a home. Travis Fleming with Flat Branch is your playbook for smarter home loans. Find Travis on the web today at flatbranchhomeloans.com/Warrensburg.
Welcome to Home Improvement Improved. At Central Bank, our home equity loans help you make your dream home a reality. With our experienced local lending team and a lower interest rate than a credit card, you'll have more flexibility and the cash you need to update your home the way you want to. Because we do banking better. Visit any of our convenient locations or apply online. Central Bank. Strong roots. Endless possibilities. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hi, it's me, your little round buddy teed up on the first hole at Mules National Golf Club. Whee! Now, I'm rolling down the beautiful Zoysia fairway. Nice shot. Yahoo! Ugh, whoopsie. You hit me in one of their beautiful white sand bunkers. Whoa! I'm high over the water on the Island Green 18th hole. Whew! Safe on the green. Now just put me in the hole. That's a birdie!
Book your tee time today at mulesnational.com.
As summer winds down, make every moment count. Whether it's mountain hiking or visiting your favorite vineyard, find your perfect getaway car at WK. Shop at our 2 Sedalia locations and take advantage of big incentives, including rebates and low interest rates on an amazing lineup of new vehicles from Chevy, GM, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. WK. Helping your family create miles of memories for over 100 years. Visit us in Sedalia and at WKFamily.com.
You're listening to Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Well, it's great to be with you guys tonight, and I found out, this is showing my knowledge, probably not great, that we're on a new station tonight as well, already on 1450 KOKO, but also 92.1 on the FM side of things. So glad to be a part of a historic night here as we're in Cameron, Missouri, Cameron High School, the site of this Week 2 matchup between Warrensburg and Cameron. Warrensburg is dominating. 35-6 they lead, as after the opening touchdown by Cameron, who on their second drive went 45 yards in 2 plays, they scored. The PAT was no good because they tried to run the swinging gate. And then after that, It was 35 unanswered points by Warrensburg. A.J. Smith had a 2-yard rushing touchdown. A.J. Smith had a 55-yard rushing touchdown. There was also a passing touchdown from quarterback Camden Mannering to tight end Dorian Lee. And then there's also been 2 defensive touchdowns. Cruz Villegas had a scoop and score along with Dominic Mayhem. 2 very big plays in this game has us where we're at 35-6. And as we are into halftime, we want to let you know that this is the Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show, your hometown operated bank with 4 locations to better serve you: Warrensburg, Holden, Odessa, and Higginsville. We live where you live. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Marching band has taken the field here in Cameron, and we're going to switch gears now. Well, I'm going to switch gears. It's Ryan Retone. I'm the only guy with you here. We're going to talk some NFL football, as last night the NFL kicked off their season, and tonight the Kansas City Chiefs are in action. If you're watching this game and you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan and you haven't turned on the Chiefs game, you might not want to, because it's not been pretty so far. In the second quarter with 4:11 to play, the Chargers are leading the Kansas City Chiefs 10-3, and actually it was 10 unanswered points to start the game for the Chargers. If you are a betting man and are curious in this, Quentin Johnson received the first touchdown of the game from Justin Herbert on a 5-yard pass. Then a field goal from Cameron Dicker, a 39-yard field goal, was just answered moments ago, as I was checking the score, actually, by Harrison Butker, a 35-yard field goal. So all defense, and unfortunately today, I predicted a shootout in that game. It gave me all the feelings of, I don't have the year off the top of my head, but when Kansas City was supposed to go down to Mexico and play the Los Angeles Rams, and instead they played in L.A. because of the field conditions and played what was perhaps one of the greatest Monday Night Football games, if not one of the greatest regular season football games of all time. Whenever both teams scored over 50 points, it was amazing. However, that's not the case tonight, as there have only been 13 points scored combined. So we'll keep an eye on that, give you updates throughout the night. Again, I'm very shocked to see that score, as I had not kept up with it until this point. Last night, the defending champs got out to a 1-0 start. 1-0 start, that is. They defeated the Dallas Cowboys 24-20 in Philadelphia. Had a long weather delay there. I was worried about what kind of weather delay we could have had today, as there was rain in the area most of the day, at least where I live. Maybe not in Cameron, but on my way here I was getting rained on pretty much the whole time. But it's been beautiful skies tonight. But that hour-long weather delay last night kind of stifled the offenses. It was 24-20 when they went into the delay, and it was 24-20 when they went out of the delay, as neither team went on to score in that one. Other games that excite me, at least this weekend, would be the border war that will be played this weekend. I'm sure there are a lot of people that will be excited on either side of that are living in Warrensburg and hopefully listening to the game tonight. I mean, how can you not be excited about it, right? This is one of the oldest rivalries in sports, and it's being rekindled on Saturday. They haven't played since 2011, but they'll take the field in Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri tomorrow at 2:30 Central Time, and it's predicted to be a pretty tight one, at least, as Jalen Daniels will take on Bo Pribula. Last week for Pribula, it was 23 of 28 passing, 2 touchdowns, 283 yards. Hardy, the running back, also gave 100 yards on the ground. Now, Kansas has played 2 games. Mizzou has only played the one against Central Arkansas. Kansas is also undefeated, sitting at 2-0. But they've played Fresno State and Wagner as wow. Loud dance music here in Cameron. They played Fresno State and Wagner. So do with that what you will. But again, on the flip side, you could say the same thing about Mizzou, who has the 61-6 win over Central Arkansas. We're just halfway through halftime here in Cameron. It's a long one. I say long one. 20 minutes is the standard halftime now in Missouri high school football. I don't know when that happened, because it used to be 15 minutes, and sometimes you would get the 20-minute halftime, but there's no more approval process for that. You just get the 20-minute halftime. But we'll go ahead and step aside, and we'll be back to get you set for the second half when we return on KOKO Sports.
Real estate, land, equipment, tools, guns, coins, you name it, we can handle it. Hello, this is Chad Davis at Davis Bell Auction and Real Estate. James Bell and I take great pride in being able to offer an auction plan that best suits our clients. Our decades of experience, availability, and attention to detail will make your next auction a great success. When you need an auction, think Davis Bell, your full auction service company. Give us a call, 660-747-6988, or find us today at davisbellauctions.com.
Welcome to Home Improvement, Improved. At Central Bank, our home equity loans help you make your dream home a reality. With our experienced local lending team and a lower interest rate than a credit card, you'll have more flexibility and the cash you need to update your home the way you want to. Because we do banking better. Visit any of our convenient locations or apply online. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Jared Jones from Pilgrim Mortgage. I think it's important that you know who we are, and we believe home is more than an address. It's your future. Our team is dedicated to guiding you through the mortgage process with expertise, integrity, and a personal touch. You might even say that we're a little old-fashioned because we still believe that the client is always first. So come see me today, Pilgrim Mortgage, 101 North McGuire Street, Suite B in Warrensburg, or find me online at homeloansbyjared.com.
David Bruce! I am the Bobcat Man! David Bruce!
Hey, this is David Bruce, the Bobcat Man, Bobcat of Sedalia. We've got Bobcat loaders and excavators in stock and on sale. I'm not able to give you the low price over the air due to minimum advertising price restrictions. I know what you're thinking. The Bobcat Man has gone crazy. Well, call my bluff. 816-491-6224. That's 816-491-6224. David Bruce, the Bobcat Man.
Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
And we're back here at Cameron High School in Cameron, Missouri, and they were introducing some children for something. I don't know what, but they're running through a tunnel with the cheerleaders on the track, and they look fired up to do so. Maybe it's an elementary school class. I couldn't tell you. This is Dave Goodwin Field, by the way, and if you're watching on MoSportsZone.com, MoSportsZone app, or the MoSportsZone YouTube channel, I apologize for two things. First off, the camera. Yes, it is off. Well, actually, three things. The camera is not in great shape right now. I believe it's the wind, I actually do think, with where I'm sitting, that keeps just pushing it towards the right side. I couldn't tell you if that's actually what's happening, but it feels like that's what's happening. The second thing I apologize for is the fact that there is no scoreboard. Currently, it is me and me alone up here in the press boxes. I tried to do something and switch to the halftime graphic, which is not working very well. But as we move forward in the weeks, my brother should be alongside of me. And then the third thing that I apologize for is the fact that the audio has been low for most of the night. But I believe we do have that fixed. So again, just working out the kinks. Doing football here on KOKO is new to the high school level. So, you know, all the equipment is brand new, which is awesome until you figure out that it's not working the way it should be yet. And then you figure out a way to go about it. But here in Cameron, it's 35-6 at halftime. Warrensburg has dominated this football game, looked much better. And I think Coach Kavanaugh's thoughts when I talked to him today, he sounded confident, sounded like a coach that knew that his team prepared much better than maybe they did last week, and it's showing evident in this one. I tried to round up some scores across the area, and to be honest with you, I really couldn't find any. I could tell you that if you're considering this or caring about this, I know it's not quite in the area, but right now Versailles is leading Eldon is leading Versailles 41-0 at halftime. That game is in our listening area, or not in our listening area, but is carried by MoSportsZone. I was trying to find some other scores during the break. I could not. Got one here on Hallsville and Centralia, maybe. I don't know if that's of concern to anyone, so I'll get that pulled up. It looks like, no, there is no score. So I don't have the area scores, but I can tell you it's 35-6 here, and we're in the Central Bank of Warrensburg halftime show. It was a great defensive performance from the Tigers in the first half, and I can specifically name a few guys that had very good first halves. Jaden Williams on the inside made some very big plays. Frank Stevenson also had some nice tackles. And then, honestly, it was the two scoop-and scores, right? I do think Zandon Johnson as well. He had a big play in the passing game. He had a very nice play in the defensive game, stringing out a not a would-be ball carrier. He was carrying the ball, but stringing out a ball carrier and making a tackle on the far sideline that brought up third down, which then on third down, it was a scoop-and score for quarterback, defensive back, gadget man Cruz Villegas, who went nearly 50 yards on the scoop and score. And then on the very next drive, Dominique Mayhem had a scoop and score. The sophomore got into the end zone. He then caught a pass on the following offensive drive that set Warrensburg up in their enemy territory, and Dorian Lee caught a touchdown pass to make the score 35-6, which is where we stand here at halftime. About 7 minutes away. We'll go ahead and take one more break, and when we return, Warrensburg football will be back on in the second half. You're listening to KOKO Sports.
Andrea from Wheaton, Missouri, and Warrensburg Ford just made me another happy customer.
Warrensburg Ford announces the summer sales event. Get 0% financing for 48 months and 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus a 2-year 25,000-mile maintenance plan on most new 24 and 25 Fords on the lot. It's a great time to buy during the summer sales event going on now at Warrensburg Ford.
Hi, I'm Evan Harris, and the tradition of making happy customers continues at Warrensburg Ford.
Let's be honest, football isn't the only thing with ups and downs lately. Mortgage rates have been moving too, and Travis Fleming at Flat Branch Home Loans is here to help. If you bought a home when rates were around 8% or higher, now might be the perfect time to call a timeout and refinance, or even consolidate some debt. And for all the first-time buyers, don't sit on the sidelines. Travis would love to help you get in the game and score a home. Travis Fleming with Flat Branch is your playbook for smarter home loans. Find Travis on the web today at flatbranchhomeloans.com/Warrensburg.
As summer winds down, make every moment count. Whether it's mountain hiking or visiting your favorite vineyard, find your perfect getaway car at WK. Shop one of our 2 Sedalia locations and take advantage of big incentives, including rebates and low interest rates on an amazing lineup of new vehicles from Chevy, GM, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. WK, helping your family create miles of memories for over 100 years. Visit us in Sedalia and at WKFamily.com.
It's time to stack the score. Hi, this is Annie from your Warrensburg IHOP. Warrensburg High School football is back in action, and so are we. After every home football game, everyone gets a free, that's right, free pancake for every touchdown our home team scores. So make plans to come on in and celebrate your Warrensburg Tigers at your Warrensburg IHOP. Every Friday after home games. IHOP Warrensburg. We stack the score.
AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
Halftime in Cameron. It's a 35-6 lead for the road team, the Warrensburg Tigers. Nothing but smiles. They didn't even go back to the halftime or to the locker room during halftime, which kind of makes sense because it's very inconvenient here at Cameron to try to get back to that locker room if you're a visitor. It is on the home side of the home side of the stadium, and I actually, to be honest with you, couldn't even tell you where it is. I'm looking out in the parking lot and trying to kind of recount the walk they made when they entered the stadium, and I really have no clue what building could be the visiting team's locker room. So they've just camped out in the end zone on the left side of your screen, and I'd show you on the stream, but the camera just wants to be on the right side of things right now. But we'll go ahead and update you on the district standings. Warrensburg is Class 4 District 7 this season, a similar district to what they had last year, and currently they are sitting in 4th place. Now, they did lose, but they actually have positive points since they played Smith Cotton, who's a classification above them. They gained 10 points last week, even though it was a loss. In first place right now, Lincoln College Prep with 41 points, and today they play St. Mary's of Southside. Actually, they're playing that game tomorrow, and it doesn't have a time on it. Nevada is in second place with 33 points. And they won big over Monette last week, 63-34. They're playing Aurora tonight. I probably could get you a score on that game, actually. I'm originally based out of the southwest Missouri area, so I have quite a few contacts down there. I probably could get a score out of that. Harrisonville is in third place with 33 points, and they won over Richmond last week. And they currently play Bolivar, which is actually, I'd get you a score on that one as well, because that game is being streamed on MoSportsZone.com. Then in fourth place is Warrensburg with 10 points, and of course they're looking like they're going to have a dominating win tonight. And Southeast is in fifth place. Spot behind. They lost 48-0 last week to Pembroke Hills. Tonight they're playing Van Horn in a game that actually has a to-be-determined time on it. All these last few teams are tied with -3 points. Raytown South is down there as well. They lost to Smithville last week, 38-7, and they're playing Raytown tonight on the road. And then Pleasant Hill is the final team. They lost 41-24 to Savannah this week and have their hands full with Maryville, a very good Maryville team this week. So those are the Class 4 District 7 standings, and as both teams get warmed up here, looks like the home team in Cameron just took the field again. As, like I said, Warrensburg never left. I'll go ahead and get you the score on that Harrisonville game. It looks like Bolivar's winning that one 13-6 currently. Now, I do think that Bolivar is a Class 5 school this year, so it will give some points to Harrisonville. But with a win tonight, I think Warrensburg should probably jump up over Harrisonville and jump into third. Granted, we're talking about district standings in week 2, like anything's going to stay the same. But, again, it's week 2, so, I mean, what else would we talk about if we're being honest? About a minute left on the initial clock, and then don't worry, they add 3 minutes. Again, I don't know when, because I played high school football, and I graduated in 2022, and we had the 20-minute halftimes pretty much my whole high school career. But when I was younger, I do remember that 20 minutes was only for, like, homecoming, or if there was like a special performance going on. It wasn't something that happened every single game. But it seems like now in 2025, every single night we have the 20-minute halftime, so it'll be 23 once they add the additional 3 minutes onto the clock, as I'm trying to find a score for the Nevada-Aurora game. Looks like, yeah, I don't think Nevada is going to drop any spots. They are currently beating Aurora 42-0 at halftime. So, yeah, wow, 42-0. Again, they won 64-23 last weekend, so it might have to watch out for Nevada. They might be a team that will compete with Warrensburg this season. Well, there's 3 minutes until kickoff here in the second half, so we'll go ahead and take one more break, and when we return, I believe Warrensburg will receive this ball as they lead 35-6. You're listening to KOKO Sports.
Looking for more than just a healthcare provider? At Western Missouri Medical Center, we're your dedicated partner for health. Our team of expert specialists, advanced treatments, and cutting-edge technology means you get the care you need when you need it most. We're proud to care for the community we call home, and we're here to support your health at every stage of life. Learn more at WMMC.com. Western Missouri Medical Center, your partner for health.
Hi, it's me, your little round buddy teed up on the first hole at Mules National Golf Club. Whee! Now, I'm rolling down the beautiful Zoysia fairway. Nice shot. Yahoo! Whoopsie, you hit me in one of their beautiful white sand bunkers. Whoa, I'm high over the water on the Island Green 18th hole. Whew, safe on the green. Now just put me in the hole. That's a birdie!
Book your tee time today at mulesnational.com.
You can depend on your Comfort Maker dealer to keep your home and family comfortable all summer long. Whether it's a spring tune-up or a midsummer emergency repair call, our customers enjoy the peace of mind that comes with having a reliable relationship with a rock-solid service partner. Make Fox Heating and Cooling your first and only call for outstanding cooling products and solutions. Call 660-747-2992 or come by 448 East Gay Street. Comfort Maker. Comfort with confidence.
Hi, it's me, your little round buddy teed up on the first hole at Mules National Golf Club. Whee! Now, I'm rolling down the beautiful Zoysia fairway. Nice shot. Yahoo! Whoopsie, you hit me in one of their beautiful white sand bunkers. Whoa, I'm high over the water on the Island Green 18th hole. Whew, safe on the green. Now just put me in the hole. That's a birdie.
Book your tee time today at mulesnational.com.
Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Both teams have taken the field in the second half, about to get underway. Unfortunately, the full time on the clock has to run off. They don't let it end early. It finally does. 12 minutes is back on, and we're going to get kicked off here in the third quarter. Again, today's broadcast is brought to you by Pilgrim Mortgage, your trusted partner for home financing. Call 573-230-6194. The second half tonight is brought to you by Warrensburg. It's brought to you by Warrensburg Ford. As this kick's underway. Fielded deep inside the 10-yard line. Running left side, Mayhem breaks a tackle, breaks another one down to the 16-yard line, and that's where Warrensburg will start this drive. Worst field position they've had in quite a while. Still pretty good field position. The second half is brought to you by Warrensburg Chrysler. The first half was brought to you by Warrensburg Ford. And as we get things started here, we'll see which quarterback they go with. It's been Mannering for the majority of this one, and he's done a fantastic job. Has a passing touchdown to go along with at least, I'd say, 90 yards of passing, if not more, and been very efficient. I don't believe that he's had an incomplete pass yet. It's been a majority rushing attack with A.J. Smith, who has 2 touchdowns and probably over 100 yards of rushing so far. Defensive end jumps, but he's able to get back on side on this first down and 10 play. Mannering gets the call from the sideline. Again, Camden Mannering, just a sophomore, and did not come into last week's game until the fourth quarter, where he actually did a very good job. They'll motion Mayhem across the formation. Give it off to Smith. He's got a burst of energy across the middle of the field. A gain of 6 yards on first down. No problems for Warrensburg early. They lead 35-6 and it literally dominated the first half defensively and offensively. They'll give it off to Smith again, running left tackle. Plenty of yards for the first down. They'll actually say he got 7 on first down, and this time he gets 4, but it looks like a penalty. Here, I'm not sure, actually. We wait for the white hat to address what just happened. They haven't moved the chains yet, although it should have been a first down. I still have yet to figure out what we're waiting on. They're talking, the side judge is talking to the coaching staff of Warrensburg. They finally moved the chains. I guess maybe nothing happened. I don't know. Illegal participation is a penalty, and the penalty's declined because that would have, too many men on the field, and that would have taken away the big gain from Smith. So instead they decline it because Smith got 7 yards on that play. So the ball's now on the 30-yard line. 2 running back set. We haven't seen this tonight. It's the quarterback to the other quarterback, Cruz Villegas, who's got a lot of running room on the screen pass, spins off of one defender and pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line after another first down. A Fox hitting and cooling first down. They had 2 running backs in the backfield, but one of them wasn't a running back. It was actually former quarterback Cruz Villegas, who's now turned into kind of a gadget man. They went to him on a running back screen, faked the handoff to Smith, threw it out left side, and he gained 15. So now first down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Carson Mannering in the shotgun. Smith to his right. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. They run it with Smith, pulling guards around. He's got room. And actually not as much room as I thought. A gain of 4 on first down. Looked like they tried to run maybe a sort of mid-zone play. I don't know. I hesitate to name plays whenever I'm also calling play-by-play and running a camera and running a stream. But I do believe that's what it was. They had the right guard and the center pull to the left side, and Smith had a little bit of room, but it was a good job by Cameron, who strung it out, and I believe the tackle was by Miles Trussell, the defensive back. Two receivers far side, running back to the right of the quarterback, Manning. He drops back to pass. He wants Zandon Johnson on the post. It's dragged in at the 21-yard line. No, the 19-yard line, excuse me. A great catch from Zandon Johnson. And a first down. Camden Mannering throws a great ball. They caught a safety lacking and hit Johnson on the post. Now they hand it off to Smith. He bursts right through the middle, cuts it back left side and into the end zone for a Warrensburg Tigers touchdown. A.J. Smith with a 14-yard touchdown rush. It was set up by the big pass play to Zandon Johnson, and Warrensburg now has a 41-6 lead. Again, touchdowns are brought to you by IHOP. Warrensburg is just dominating this game. It took 1 minute and 47 seconds on the touchdown drive. Now the PAT is up and good. So with 10 minutes and 13 seconds to go, Warrensburg gets on the board quick. 42-6 is your score in Cameron, Missouri. You're listening to Warrensburg Tigers football on KOKO Sports.
Andrea from Wheaton, Missouri, and Warrensburg Ford just made me another happy customer.
Warrensburg Ford announces the summer sales event. Get 0% financing for 48 months and 0 down payment, plus 0 payments for 90 days, plus a 2-year 25,000-mile maintenance plan on most new 24 and 25 Fords on the lot. It's a great time to buy during the summer sales event going on now at Warrensburg Ford.
Hi, I'm Evan Harris, and the tradition of making happy customers continues at Warrensburg Ford.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent here in Warrensburg. As a longtime resident, chamber member, and 2-time UCM graduate, I'm proud to serve the Johnson County community with the highest rated insurance company in the nation, State Farm. I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with you and review any or all of your policies to see how I can help you create a personalized plan that specifically fits your needs. I look forward to talking to you.
Click, call, or stop by to talk with Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent on East Russell Avenue in Warrensburg.
You're listening to Warrensburg Tigers football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Well, a 14-yard rushing touchdown from the All-State senior A.J. Smith. His third touchdown of the game brings us to our score of 42-6. Kickoff received at the 20-yard line, trying to cross field. Now across the 35-yard line is Cameron. It looks like they'll be brought down at about the 34. I am happy to let you guys know that I think I figured out the camera moving back and forth. So if you're watching on the stream, I think I actually have this figured out, which is pretty nice now. Won't have to continuously try to push that thing back and then miss plays for you guys. Again, it's just me in the booth today, Ryan Retone, alongside you. And I'm very glad that you've joined us. If you're a Warrensburg Tigers fan, I'm sure you're very happy with what's going on right now as they lead 42-6 here in their Week 2 matchup. Again, looking for their first win of the season. See a lot of fullbacks that run with their pad level extremely low, and that was the case for the fullback on that play in Chase Bell. I don't even know if I would say that he necessarily got tackled. He just kind of continued to stumble. Wing T formation again. Trailing 42-6 in the second half, and Cameron has not passed the ball tonight. I don't know if they intend on passing the ball tonight. 2nd down and 4 from the 45-yard line. Fake the handoff, pitch it out wide to the wing back. He's across the 50-yard line and picks up the first down. That was River Meadows. On the triple option, they pitched it off to Meadows. Picked up a first down, and Meadows is going to have to check out of this game. This is the first time tonight that we've seen Meadows come off. the wingbacks in Meadows and Edens had played the whole night, but it looked like maybe he came up a little limp, and the trainer will look at him. The wingbacks in Meadows and Edens had stayed on the field the whole night. The only spot that was really changing was Chase Bell, the fullback, would come out after a long gain, and they would bring in the sophomore, who has the only touchdown tonight, in Riley Smith. Hand it off again, and Warrensburg has the football, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think they had the football the whole time. I don't know that ball was down, but they will say it is. And now another injured player on the field. They finally get him up. I believe that was the fullback who's now going to come off the field, and that was Chase Bell, who was also the ball carrier, and that might have been why Warrensburg came up with the football, to be honest with you. Looked like maybe he was a little shaken up on the play. It was a gain of 7, though. And bring up 2nd down and 3. So a new fullback into the game. We haven't seen this one before. I believe that's Tyler Irwin. They'll fake the handoff, pitch it out left side, and across the first down marker is the wingback in Blake Schneider, a sophomore who had to come in for the injured wingback in River Meadows. He was brought down by Zandon Johnson on the left side. Wing T again. Fake the snap, and now they'll get the call from the sideline. Again, Cameron has played ball control all night. It doesn't work whenever you turn over the ball 3 times, but they have tried to drain as much clock as they can. That one's fumbled. The ball's on the turf. Who has it? Warrensburg says they have it, and they do. Fired up coming off the sideline is Frank Stevenson, who forces the fumble and dives on it to recover the fumble. He dunks a basketball into their trash can they have on the sideline. I say it was the turnover trash can. Frank Stevenson forces a fumble and recovers a fumble himself. The senior dives down on it, and another turnover, the 3rd fumble of the night for Cameron that was recovered by the Tigers. And they'll take over on the 33-yard line. The drive looked somewhat promising for Cameron. But another drive that ends in a fumble. This seems like the exact opposite of what happened to Warrensburg last weekend. Warrensburg turned the ball over at least 5 times. It looks like we're already going to see some backups into the game. So you're going to have to bear with me on names and numbers. I will do my best, but I'm not at a great angle right now. I do believe this is Braden Byron, the freshman, into the game at quarterback, and it is. He'll hand the ball off, and typically I could tell you that was Smith, but I don't have who that was on the carry. Looks like that's number 31, Mason Solens, another freshman. So getting some freshmen, some very valuable play time here. It's where we are in turbo clock territory, a 36-point game. It's a gain of 2 on first down by the freshman running back Mason Solens. It'll bring up 2nd down. He lines up in the pistol behind Braden Byron. Byron receives the snap, hands it off to Solens, running right side, and brought down after a gain of maybe 1. Now, I will say this is backups facing the varsity defense of Cameron. So moving the ball might be tough, but at the same time, it is a Class 4 school taking on a Class 2 school, that is, So, call the gap whatever it is. And it'll be 3rd down and 8 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Again, the second half is brought to you by Warrensburg Chrysler. 3rd down and 8 yards to go to pick up the Fox Heating and Cooling first down. That was a high snap handled, and that ball's on the turf. Quarterback Braden Byron able to get back down on it. It'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like it'll be a clear punting situation. Again, this will be the 3rd person to punt the football for Warrensburg if they let Byron punt the football. I don't know that they will. We'll see what happens here, but if they do, this will be the 3rd player to punt in 2 games for Warrensburg. I would say that's not very common. but taking their time. We're under 4 minutes now in the third quarter. Second quarter, if you're looking at the scoreboard here in Cameron, which has not been changed. 4th down and 15. And we might see Warrensburg take a timeout here. I think we will. And I think the only reason they're taking a timeout is so they can get the varsity offense onto the field to punt. So with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go, Warrensburg will punt on the back half of this break. You're listening to KOKO Sports.
Hi, this is Jared Jones from Pilgrim Mortgage. I think it's important that you know who we are, and we believe home is more than an address. It's your future. Our team is dedicated to guiding you through the mortgage process with expertise, integrity, and a personal touch. You might even say that we're a little old-fashioned because we still believe that the client is always first. So come see me today, Pilgrim Mortgage, 101 North McGuire Street, Suite B in Warrensburg, or find me online at homeloansbyjared.com.
Let's be honest, football isn't the only thing with ups and downs lately. Mortgage rates have been moving too, and Travis Fleming at Flat Branch Home Loans is here to help. If you bought a home when rates were around 8% or higher, now might be the perfect time to call a timeout and refinance, or even consolidate some debt. And for all the first-time buyers, don't sit on the sidelines. Travis would love to help you get in the game and score a home. Travis Fleming with Flat Branch is your playbook for smarter home loans. Find Travis on the web today at flatbranchhomeloans.com/Warrensburg. AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
Warrensburg does punt. It was Cruz Villegas with the punt. Now the return being brought across the 40-yard line, breaking a tackle, and down at the 37, or excuse me, the 43. That was Edens on the return. So they call a timeout to bring the varsity offense back onto the field. And it looks like now we'll still see the varsity offense for, well, maybe not. We'll still see the varsity offense for Cameron, who is trailing in this one 42-6. We have not seen River Meadows return at wingback. It still is Blake Schneider. Last drive they fumbled, which feels like has happened a lot in this game. It has. It's happened 3 times. Fake the handoff. It'll be quarterback run right side. There's a definite hold, but I don't think they're going to get that call. Oh, and now they'll say late hit. And I don't know that I love that one because the play was still continuing. He did hit him out of bounds. I think they're going to say late hit out of bounds, though, but they're also going to have a holding penalty here. And we're also going to see a pretty stern talking to between quarterback Reed Smith and his coach. That run was a quarterback follow, and it was definitely supposed to be hit up on the inside. And Reed Smith chose to string that out, and since he kicked it outside, as we're going to get word from the referee that there was holding on the offense and what I would believe is a personal foul on the defense. And it's going to go ahead and be they'll cancel each other out. They'll walk 15 yards forward, and then they'll walk backwards, and they'll find their spot. It's 42-6 here, 2:32 to go in the third quarter. So they walk forward all the way down to the 48-yard line, and that's actually where they'll place it, which I knew that, and that's because, they walked off the holding penalty, then they walked off the personal foul, and now we have the first down and 5. One was a dead ball, so they don't cancel each other out because one was a dead ball and one was during the play. It'll actually be second down and 5. As Cameron gets the play from the sideline. This is Reed Smith under center. Orbit motion. They hand it off. Timing was well off there, but driving through the middle of the field is the fullback in Chase Bell. That play felt very, very off, but somehow it worked for Cameron, and Bell is just laboring through this one, hobbling at every chance. Actually, that's not Bell, excuse me. That is Tyler Irwin, the freshman fullback. A very nice gain. They're all the way down to the 48-yard line of the Warrensburg Tigers. First downs are brought to you by Fox Seating and Cooling tonight. They'll hand it off again right up the middle to the fullback. Tyler Irwin, another gain of 6. We have not seen a single pass play. So if you think because Cameron is trailing in this game 42-6 in the third quarter that they are going to pass the ball, I think you're mistaken. They will not throw the ball. I mean, absolutely refusing to. I've really never seen anything like it. And I don't think Cameron fans are too happy as the stadium is starting to empty out already. In turbo clock area as well. This is about the area of the field that Cameron fumbled last time. They'll hand it back off to their freshman fullback who's just breaking tacklers. This kid can run. Tyler Irwin. Again, yes, a 9th grader who is just trucking over defenders, breaking tacklers. He looks like a senior right now, to be honest with you, and picks up another first down. Fox Heating and Cooling first down. 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. They will have to get one more play off. There's about 15 seconds between the play clock and the game clock. So we'll see Cameron run one more. I promise you it won't be until there's less than 5 seconds on the play clock. Smith gets under center, 4 seconds on the play clock. Orbit motion, they'll hand it off to the fullback again, just breaking tackles. A gain of 3 yards, 10 seconds to go, and I have a feeling that's the way the third quarter is going to end. And that will be the case. It's 42-6. Warrensburg is 12 minutes, and currently it will be exactly 12 minutes away from their first win of the season in Cameron, Missouri. When we return on KOKO Sports, we got the fourth quarter.
Welcome to Home Improvement, Improved. At Central Bank, our home equity loans help you make your dream home a reality. With our experienced local lending team and a lower interest rate than a credit card, you'll have more flexibility and the cash you need to update your home the way you want to. Because we do banking better. Visit any of our convenient locations or apply online. Central Bank. Strong roots. Endless possibilities. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hello, Central Missouri. This is Michael Malloy from American Senior Benefits. When the Tigers find themselves in the red zone, they pull out their special playbook to find the end zone. Retirement has a red zone, too. The 5 years leading up to and the first 10 years of retirement are critical to having a well-thought-out plan. Let the experts at American Senior Benefits guide you to your end zone so you don't have to settle for a field goal. American Senior Benefits, across from the courthouse in Warrensburg, proudly flying our nation's colors each and every workday.
Warrensburg Tigers Football on AM 1450 and 92.1 FM KOKO.
Seven for Cameron on the Warrensburg 27-yard line. Warrensburg leads this one 42-6 as we start the fourth quarter. And it should be exactly 12 minutes in this fourth quarter, barring a Cameron score, as we are in turbo clock territory in week 2. This one tossed out wide and all over. It was the Warrensburg defense. That's going to be a big-time loss. Tackled down by K.J. Hale in the backfield. He was aided by a few guys, but Hale was there first. Brought way behind the sticks, and it'll be 3rd down and 13 now. From the 32-yard line. Again, Warrensburg has been able to get off the field with 4th downs. They've been able to get off the field forcing turnovers. Just about any way there is to get off the field, they've done so tonight. Handed off to the fullback. He's going nowhere. Tried to break a few tackles, but it was Hunter Michelle along with Bron Lamone on the inside, just instantly hitting the fullback on the dive. Maybe a gain of 1 for the freshman running back in Tyler Irwin. And with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, trailing by 36, it'll be 4th down and 11 for Cameron. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously going to go for it. Do they pass it? That's what it really interests me. We have not seen a pass play for Cameron tonight. Maybe we see it on 4th and 11. Defense chance still coming from Warrensburg. They traveled well tonight. Under center is Smith. Smith, he'll hand it off to the fullback on 4th down and... What? Hey, when you're committed to running the triple option, you are committed to running the triple option. But they just ran a fullback dive on 4th down and 12. gained maybe 2 yards. And with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, turned the ball over on downs. Wow. Again, even though the possession's changing, the clock is still running here. And this is when you're an official, you take your sweet time spotting the ball and all of that stuff because you don't have to run whenever the play's not happening, right? So if the clock's going to run and you don't have to do anything, you're not too worried about it. 42-6, the Warrensburg lead. And freshman quarterback has checked into the game alongside a freshman running back. They'll hand it off to the running back, and he might get a gain of 1 at the 30-yard line. That's Mason Solis. Again, most of the backups have checked in for Warrensburg, which is extremely valuable. You know, you ask about what the value is of winning a blowout game. Well, there's a lot to it. And it's not just winning the game by a lot of points and also the point system that you have within your district that gives you a lot of points. It's the fact that you're giving your backups, some chance to play on Friday night. You're freshmen. You're the future of this program, are getting a chance to play, you know, when it really matters. Obviously, they'll play again on the Monday night JV game, but as someone that has played high school football, I can tell you it's completely different. The feeling, everything, you know. So they'll hand it back off to Solis again. He's running right tackle. Oh, he is swallowed up and hit hard. Talon Edens absolutely drills the freshman running back in Mason Solis. Clock now down to 8 minutes and 35 seconds. It hasn't stopped running since we started in the fourth quarter. 42-6, the Warrensburg lead. And we're in Cameron, Missouri tonight. Next week, Warrensburg will finally get a home game, which I'm sure that they will be very happy about. I know I'm happy about that. It'll be my first chance to get out in Warrensburg. Rolling out left now, they're going to pass with the freshman quarterback. He wants to go deep downfield, and it's intercepted at the 50-yard line. I guess you could call it an arm punt. Didn't get quite enough on that. He was rolling out to his weak side, the left side, and fired that to Carter Flick, the defensive back for Cameron. The interception happens with 8 minutes on the clock. Again, Warrensburg will host Moberly next weekend. Pregame, hopefully at 6:45. I know this is now the second weekend where we haven't had a pregame at 6:45, but I'm you know what? I'm going to guarantee you that we will be on the air at 6:45 next Friday night in Warrensburg. You can listen to it live here, or you can watch it online at MoSportsZone as well. So Cameron will take over right at midfield, 50-yard line. They're in the wing tee, as they have been most of the night. They have checked in some backups now, however. It looks like we're going to see sophomore quarterback Brody Jones into the game. I don't have the numbers on the running backs quite yet. They're literally lined up even with me here at the 50. And there's trouble with the snap. That ball's on the ground. Warrensburg wasn't able to get down on it. Looks like Cameron recovers it. Yeah, that'll be the fullback who's had a pretty nice night, Tyler Irwin, the freshman, who gets down on that one. Crossed over the 9 o'clock hour. You're in Cameron, Missouri, so you're listening to tonight's broadcast of Warrensburg Tigers football on 1450 AM KOKO, also 92.1 FM starting tonight. Streaming live on the MoSportsZone app, MoSportsZone.com, also on the MoSportsZone YouTube channel. I'm Ryan Retone, joining you in Cameron, Missouri. There's a gain of about 2. Special thanks to Kyle working the board. He's also alongside Zach back at the studio in Warrensburg. 3rd down and 10. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go here. Ball has not moved from the 50-yard line where Cameron took over. Be the freshman quarterback, Brody Jones. He drops back, the first pass play of the night for Cameron. Oh, they had someone wide open. And of course he was wide open. It's the first time that Cameron chooses to go to the air, but they couldn't corral it. That was going to be a touchdown. Miles Trussell was all alone, but he couldn't drag it in. The first pass play comes with 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling that they even chose to pass it at that point. They had a 4th and 12 earlier in the game, and they ran the ball. So with the JV squad in, they tried to pass the ball. It didn't work, and now it's punt time from the 50-yard line. This is the quarterback, Reed Smith, to punt the ball. Warrensburg has no one back to recover this punt. I guess they're content with just letting it roll out. Smith has plenty of time to punt. I've never seen anything like that. It is a fantastic punt. They just better hope it doesn't go into the end zone. And I don't think it is. Wow. Down at the 2-yard line. What a job by Reed Smith, who completely coffin corners Warrensburg. That is amazing. Down at the 2. But then again, I've also never seen a punt where the punter literally chopped his feet for 5 seconds before getting it off, because it was almost like no one was really even playing on the Warrensburg side of things. 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and for some reason we're stopping the clock, and it's because there's a penalty, but the clock shouldn't stop on a penalty, but regardless, it's holding. When the clock's running, it never stops. I don't know why they would stop it. The game's 42-6, but they do call a holding penalty. That holding penalty is not going to do a whole lot because Warrensburg was already down at the 2, so it'll back them up half the distance to the goal line, to the 1-yard line. And that's where Warrensburg will start this drive. 4 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, a game that Warrensburg, it would actually be the most improbable thing ever if they found a way to lose this one. They lead 42-6. They are rocking at their own end zone with the JV group, so that could get scary, I guess. Quarterback receives the snap, Bohack, and pushing forward, they gain a few yards. I believe I said that Braden Byron was in the game earlier, and that's not the case currently. The quarterback is actually Anderson Bohack. Both number 11 and number 12 on the Warrensburg roster are listed as freshman quarterbacks, and I managed to name the wrong one. The handoff was given off to the freshman Mason Solis, who got a gain of 4 and got them out of dangerous safety territory. So that is good. They'll hand it off to Solik again, bouncing off right tackle and dragged down after a gain of no. They'll actually say he got back to the line of scrimmage. This is, about getting your guys valuable reps, but also about just getting the game over with as they're keeping the ball on the ground here. Clock will run through the remainder of this one. I don't know that Warrensburg would love to punt from their own end zone, though. Obviously, their punting is with their offensive unit on the field. It's not like they've got to bring out a whole punt team, but still, I don't think there's any team that's comfortable with that. Boack lined up in the shotgun, running back. Hands it off to him, Solis. Weaving through traffic. Gets a gain of maybe 3. Honestly, one of the slowest developing gains of 3 that I've seen. It kind of looked like he was going to burst through, but to no avail, and it brings up a 4th down and 3. Obvious punt situation, although I do think you're probably confident enough to try to run for 3 yards. Obvious punt situation. You're on your own 7-8 yard line. But Warrensburg is going to have to call a timeout to get their punt unit onto the field, unfortunately. And the official is, I don't think, very happy about it. I think he's saying, well, you could just run them onto the field right now. But that's not what's going to happen. So we are going to see a Flat Branch Home Loans timeout. Probably the last timeout we'll see in this one. So call 660-422-5699, and Flat Branch Homes will try to get you a home. We see the timeout, and it looks like they are going to take this on the Cameron side of things. I figured that we would just, make the exchange and play on, but Cameron does want to talk, and that's, within their purview to do so whenever a timeout's called. I don't think that's what Warrensburg had in mind because they're already on the field with their starting offensive unit. That is something that I want to ask Coach Chris Cavanaugh next week is why call the timeout with the backups and to exchange that? Why not just bring them onto the field? And I'm sure that, it's just because they don't want to have any mistakes or have any substitution issues, but it is an interesting thing to think about. The clock is stopped with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Warrensburg leads 42-6. And next week, Warrensburg will host Moberly next Friday night for the 2025 home opener. It is very odd to play 2 back-to-back road games. That doesn't happen a whole lot in high school football. More often than not, you just rotate, right? And you play home, away, it feels like. But to open the season, 2 road games, and they'll end up going 1-1 in those games. The punt is off and fair caught at the 40-yard line. That was Cruz Villegas on the punt. Fair caught on the 40-yard line of the Dragons. That's where they'll start what is more than likely, I'd say, their last offensive possession. 1:55 to go and counting in the fourth quarter. I mean, with the running clock in this situation, you get off maybe 2 snaps? I mean, even just getting the offense on the field has already taken 25 seconds off this clock. It's going to be a great win. Not a lot of points scored in the second half for either. There's actually only 1 touchdown scored, and that's just because, Warrensburg put in their JV after their first drive. Didn't really need to score any more points. Wing T here. They'll hand it off to the fullback, and no gain on that play. Maybe, they'll say forward progress gives him 1. And that is the freshman tailback in Tyler Irwin. Cameron won last week, so this drops their record to 1-1, evens Warrensburg record at 1-1 with the win. Under 50 seconds now, this should be the last play. They actually ran an offensive lineman off the field, and that took quite a while, as you can imagine. So now, with 40 seconds, they're under center to take the last snap of this game. Orbit motion, hand it off. No, the quarterback's actually going to keep it, and he's got a lot of room. He's dragged down inbounds. Down to 27. Do we see one more play? The coaches for Cameron are already taking their headsets off. I think we're done. Time just clicking down on the clock. Cameron already going to midfield to shake hands. The offense starting to realize what's happening. And they're going to go ahead and go off the field. A dominating performance for the Warrensburg Tigers tonight as they win this one 42-6. We'll go ahead and step aside here and be back to recap this game. Put a bow on it in Cameron, Missouri. Warrensburg wins 42-6. We'll be back after this on KOKO Sports.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent here in Warrensburg. As a longtime resident, chamber member, and 2-time UCM graduate, I'm proud to serve the Johnson County community with the highest rated insurance company in the nation, State Farm. I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with you and review any or all of your policies to see how I can help you create a personalized plan that specifically fits your needs. I look forward to talking to you.
Click, call, or stop by to talk with Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent on East Russell Avenue in Warrensburg.
Let's be honest, football isn't the only thing with ups and downs lately. Mortgage rates have been moving too, and Travis Fleming at Flat Branch Home Loans is here to help. If you bought a home when rates were around 8% or higher, now might be the perfect time to call a timeout and refinance, or even consolidate some debt. And for all the first-time buyers, don't sit on the sidelines. Travis would love to help you get in the game and score a home. Travis Fleming with Flat Branch is your playbook for smarter home loans. Find Travis on the web today at flatbranchhomeloans.com/Warrensburg.
As summer winds down, make every moment count. Whether it's mountain hiking or visiting your favorite vineyard, find your perfect getaway car at WK. Shop one of our 2 Sedalia locations and take advantage of big incentives, including rebates and low interest rates on an amazing lineup of new vehicles from Chevy, GM, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. WK, helping your family create miles of memories for over 100 years. Visit us in Sedalia and at WKFamily.com.
It's time to stack the score. Hi, this is Annie from your Warrensburg IHOP. Warrensburg High School Football is back in action, and so are we. After every home football game, everyone gets a free pancake for every touchdown our home team scores. So make plans to come on in and celebrate your Warrensburg Tigers at your Warrensburg IHOP. Every Friday after home games, IHOP Warrensburg. We stack the score.
AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
Well, Warrensburg comes out victorious in week 2 as they travel down to Cameron and in dominating fashion secured the running clock victory 42-6 against the home team Dragons. It was a fantastic performance. Felt like a 180 from last week whenever we were sitting in Sedalia kind of in disbelief as to how Warrensburg had lost that game. But tonight, just a great all-around team effort as Cameron scored the first touchdown of the game. It was a 44-yard run from their fullback, and then a 1-yard rushing touchdown from their younger fullback in Benson Smith. The 44-yard run what happened from a senior, I don't have his name right in front of me, it was Chase Bell, who had that 44-yard run. But then Warrensburg answered, and they answered by a lot with 42 unanswered points. That led the Tigers to victory. It was 3 rushing touchdowns on the night for A.J. Smith, and he busted off one of the more impressive runs we'll probably see in the high school season when he went 55 yards, broke at least 6 tackles into the end zone. Great night for the All-State returner, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him throughout the season. We also saw a passing touchdown, the first of the career for Camden Mannering, who dumped it off to Dorian Lee on a touchdown. We also saw 2 scoop and scores. Cruz Villegas, the former quarterback, who is now kind of the gadget man for the Tigers. We're seeing him do a little bit of everything, but he's going to play defensive back for the Mules one day, and he's off to a great start this season defensively with a scoop and score. And then we also saw a scoop and score from Dominic Mayhem. Again, just a dominating performance out of the Tigers, and Coach Chris Kavanaugh and his guys are back to 500 as they move to 1-1 on the season. Next weekend, they will host Moberly. Only 4 home games on this schedule this year for Warrensburg. So they'll host Moberly next Friday night. Again, so we'll be on the air at 6:45 pregame show, and then kickoff at 7 o'clock. And then they'll go on the road after that for 2 away games, Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill, as things get started with conference play. Again, just a great performance tonight, and hopefully a sign of more to come for Warrensburg in the 2025 season. But that's really all I have for you tonight in Cameron, Missouri. Just very, very good performance out of the Warrensburg Tigers tonight. Tonight's title sponsor was Pilgrim Mortgage, your trusted partner for home financing. Call 573-230-6194, and they'll get you a home. And also a big shout-out to Warrensburg Ford and Warrensburg Chrysler, the Haft sponsors on tonight's game. But for Kyle and Zach back at the studio, everyone at KOKO Sports, I'm Ryan Riotone, reminding you that the score tonight was Warrensburg 42, Cameron 6. They are victorious. Signing off and saying good night.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent here in Warrensburg. As a longtime resident, chamber member, and 2-time UCM graduate, I'm proud to serve the Johnson County community with the highest rated insurance company in the nation, State Farm. I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with you and review any or all of your policies to see how I can help you create a personalized plan that specifically fits your needs. I look forward to talking to you.
Click, call, or stop by to talk with Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent on East Russell Avenue in Warrensburg.
We're the Barafaldis from Warrensburg, and Warrensburg Chrysler just made me another happy customer.
It's the Drive Into Fall event at Warrensburg Chrysler.